The Raven, Edgar Allan Poe. Once upon a midnight reading, while I ponder weak and weary, over many a kind a chorus volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. This some visitor, I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. Only this, and nothing more. Instantly I remembered it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember growled its guts upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow. Vainly I had sought to borrow from my books receipts of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the red and radiant maiden whom the angels named Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And the silken sad uncertain rustling of each purple carton thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before. So that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, this some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door, some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. Did is and nothing more. Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. Sir, said I, or Madame, truly your forgiveness I implore. But the fact is, I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I hear you. Here I opened the white door, darkness there, and nothing more. Deep into the darkness peering, long I stood there I wonder, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence wasn't broken, and the stillness gave no token. At the only word that spoken was the whispered word, Lenore. This I whispered, and an echo murmured the backward, Lenore. Merely this, and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning. Soon again I hear a tapping somewhat louder than before. Surely, I said, as something on my window lattice. Let me see then. What read is? What this mystery explore? Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. This is the wind, and nothing more. Open here I flung the shutter, when my many a flirt and flutter. In there stead a stately raven of saintly days of yore. Not the least of his hands made he, not a minute stop or steady, but with mien of lord of lady, perched above my chamber door, perched upon the bust of Pallas just above the chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird bewildered my sad fancy into a smiling. By the grave and stirred the corner of the countenance it wore. Though thy crest be shorn and shaven, though, I say, are sure not craven, ghastly green and ancient raven wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on the next Plutonian shore. Fought the raven. Nevermore. Much I marveled this ungainly fool to hear discourse so plainly. Though this answer a little meaning, little relevance bore, for we cannot have agreed that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing beard above his chamber door, beard of beast upon the sculptured bust above his chamber door, with such a name. Nevermore. But the raven sitting lonely on the placid bust, spoken only that one word, of his soul that one word it did outpour, nothing further than it uttered, not a feather than it fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, other friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me, and my hopes have flown before. Then the verse say, nevermore. Startled at the stillness broken by replies so aptly spoken, doubtless I say, what it orders it is only stock and store, caught from some unhappy master whom unmerciful disaster followed fast and followed faster did his song one burden bore, till the dirges of his hopes that melancholy burdens bore of nevermore. But the raven still bewilling and my fancy into a smile and straight I will a cushion sit in front of bird and buds and tor. Then upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself to linking fancy unto fancy, thinking what this ominous bird of yore, what this grim, ungainly, ghastly gowned, and ominous beard of yore, meaning croaking, nevermore. This I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing. To the fool, whose fiery eyes not burn into my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining, on the cushion's velvet lining that the lamplight blotted over, but whose velvet violet lining with the lamplight blotted over. She shall press, nevermore. Then methought the air grew denser, perfumed from an unseen censer, sung by seraphim whose footfalls tinkled on the footted floor. Gretch, I cried, thy God hath lent thee, by these angels he hath sent thee, respite and nefinity, from thy memories of Lenore. Quath this kind nefinity, of forget that is lost Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, I said, think of evil, prophet still, if beer of devil, whether tempter sent, or whether tempted toast thee here as o'er. Desolate yet undoubted on this desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted. Tell me truly, I implore, is there Baal in Gilead? Tell me, I implore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, I said, think of evil, prophet still, if beer of devil, by that heaven that bends above us, by that God we both adore. Tell this soul with sorrow laden if, within the distance Iden, it shall clasp a Satan maiden whom the angels name Lenore. Clasp a raid and ridden maiden, whom the angels name Lenore. Fought the raven, nevermore. Be that warriors are imparting, bird of fiend, I shriek upstarting. Get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of that light thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit my bust above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart, and take thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven, nevermore. And the raven, never flitting, still is sitting on the pallid bosa palace, just above my chamber door. And his eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that it's dreaming, and the lamplight over him stream throws his shadow on the floor, and my soul from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lived nevermore.